The Egyptian military's constant closure of the Rafah crossing on Egypt's border with Gaza Strip has had a catastrophic effect on the lives of thousands of people in the blockaded coastal region. Thousands of people head to Rafah crossing on a daily basis, trying to exit through Gaza's only gateway bypassing Israel. However, only a small number of travelers have managed to leave Gaza due to Egyptian military's tight restrictions. After the ouster of Mohamed Morsi, the Egyptian army launched a campaign against the tunnels between the Gaza Strip and Egypt. This was followed by an almost complete closure of the Rafah crossing. Palestinians are not the only ones suffering at the Rafah crossing. Hundreds of foreigners, including Egyptian citizens, are also stuck in the Gaza Strip. Gaza, under the Israeli blockade, has been described as the world's largest open-air prison. Human rights workers have accused the Egyptian military of playing into the hands of Tel Aviv. According to a new UN report, the number of refugees fleeing the violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo has risen by over 350 over the past few months. The report to the Security Council released Monday said as of the end of August, about 440,000 Congolese escaped into neighboring Burundi, Rwanda and Uganda. The Red Cross in July said almost 70,000 Congolese had become refugees in Uganda. The Congolese army is battling the March 23 movement rebels with the help of the new UN Intervention Brigade in the east of the country. The brigade, made up of 3,000 troops, has a stronger mandate compared to previous UN peacekeeping missions. Since early May 2012, nearly 3 million people have fled their homes in the eastern Congo. About 2.5 million have resettled in Congo, but about 500,000 have crossed into neighboring Rwanda and Uganda. Demonstrations over rising prices after the government decided to lift 12 subsidies have mutated into riots and dozens of people have died. Over the past week, Sudan has seen its most serious protests in almost 3 decades. The streets have calmed, but analysts say this could be a turning point for the ruling party and longtime President Omar al-Bashir. The protest started a week ago in one town, but quickly spread to others and the capital Khartoum, where protesters touched vehicles, gas stations, police buildings, and hurled stones at security forces. The protest is seen as the greatest challenge to Bashir's rule since he came to power in 1989 military coup. According to a source, Sudan hasn't seen such protests since 2 governments were toppled in the 1960s and 1980s, adding that the fact that protests have spread beyond Khartoum is important. Witnesses in Khartoum say security forces have also rounded up and detained an estimated 1,000 people. After Islamists reportedly killed 40 students in a dormitory attack, Nigerian authorities are taking measures to improve security around schools, including stepping up patrols and putting armed soldiers outside them and guarding school buses. Government sources on Monday said the move aimed to restore confidence in the Western-style schools that have been scenes of bloody massacres by Boko Haram militants fighting for an Islamic state and who are seen as a main security threat to the nation. The presidency source said President Goodluck Jonathan met senior security aides late on Sunday to discuss how to respond to the latest deadly shift in tactics by the insurgents. Gunmen stormed an agricultural college in Jugba area of Yobe State in northeastern Nigeria on Sunday, dragging students out of their beds and shooting them dead. This is the latest evidence that a military offensive against Boko Haram since May has so far failed to quell the northwestern violence. The U.S. government has partially shut down for the first time in 17 years after Congress failed to agree measures to continue funding basic services. Federal agencies were ordered to begin closing at midnight on Tuesday, meaning 800,000 non-essential workers will be forced to stay at home. The shutdown began after the law to fund government ran out as the Republican-led House of Representatives attempted to draw up a replacement that blocks part of President Barack Obama's signature healthcare law. The House has passed 2 spending bills in recent days, both of which have been torpedoed by the Democratic-led Senate. The House asked for a conference on the budget with the Senate. However, the Senate's Democratic Majority Leader, Harry Reid, said it would reject the proposal and called on the House to pass a budget law not linked to the health care. Some critical parts of the government, including the military and air traffic control, will remain open. The shutdown will, however, keep hundreds of thousands of federal workers at home and unpaid. The shutdown could affect government services, including park management, food assistance for children, and pregnant women, and federal home loan programs. Since becoming the head of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis has made it clear that his papacy will be different from the previous ones. From touching the faithful while riding in an open vehicle to emphasizing humility and service rather than dogma, the new Pope has signaled that significant changes lie ahead for the Church. On Tuesday, the Pontiff begins 3 days of consultations with 8 cardinals he has appointed to advise him on what many consider to be desperately needed reforms for the Vatican. The Pope's first meeting with the newly appointed Council of 8 cardinals will take place behind closed doors. Vatican spokesman Federico Lombardi on Monday mentioned improving the governance of the Church through reform of the Curia as one of the main purposes of the summit, but that other issues will be discussed as well. Lombardi warned that 8-member council meeting with the Pope is a diverse group of cardinals from America, Africa, Australia and Europe. They will discuss suggestions for reform based on the polls from the Catholics around the world.